verse 11, and it can keep going until 32. But I'm not going to read everything. And it's not a strange text, it's a familiar text for all of us. It's a story of a prodigal son. Now I learned something in here, as always the Spirit leads me, so today I got to share a few things with you from the story of prodigal son. My title is Hated by Many but Still Standing. But I want to rephrase it and say rejected by many and rejected by much but still standing. You know, there comes a time not only young people but even adults are rejected, sometimes by your spouse or sometimes by your parents or sometimes your family members or church members. And how do you cope up with that situation? And that's what we're going to read it. You know, every time when I preach a sermon being a young guy, the parents comes to me and tell me, tell them, preacher, tell to the young people. But I'm telling you too, because you also a child of God, amen? Sometimes we also need revival. We also need spiritual growth in our life. And we can never come to a place where we can say, I'm perfect enough, I know everything. No, we're still growing. My granddad was 92 when he was passing by, when he was sleeping Jesus, but he told me before his death, Jefferson, I'm still growing, I still don't know, teach me. So we all learn, and we cannot tell that we know everything. So let's look at it. What God has to say for us from Luke chapter 15, verse 11 onwards. Let's pray before we get it. Dear God, this is your time. Speak to us in Jesus' name. Amen. Verse 11, the Bible says, Then he said, a certain man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falls to me. So he divided to them his livelihood. Let me tell you, my dear brothers and sisters and young people, be careful what you pray and what you ask God. You know, God is a good giver. God gives everything that we ask according to His will and glory. Sometimes He gives us what we ask just because He has to teach us some lesson. This is a good Father, and spiritual prophecy tells the Father represents our Heavenly Father, and the Son represents us. Both the good who was working in the farm, and there's another one who wasted his life. That represents us. Be careful what you pray for, what you ask for. And in literal terms, be careful what you ask from one another. Because some people is always good at giving, and we don't know that becomes a trial for us, which we will suffer out of it. Do you know how sin begins? The Bible says sin is a mysterious thing, but I put it this way, sin begins when you're not satisfied with what God has provided. Is that all? Sin begins when you're not satisfied with what God provided. Adam and Eve had the whole garden of Eden to get the fruit, but the only one they cared and they're concerned about, well, she was concerned about, was the tree. I'm not talking about females, but I'm just saying the story, what happened. Alright, and the man also took favor on eating that fruit. When they had grapes and apples and orange and Shalvika from Kerala, whatever it is, they all had everything, but they found the fruit which was given by the devil. Sin begins when we are not satisfied with what God provided. You know, this father was a rich father. He had everything. And I can imagine that he was giving his best to his sons. He didn't let him to go to Primark, but he let him to go to Zara. Let's put it that way. For young people. Alright? He didn't tell them, okay, you only getting shoes from Sports Direct. No, you're going to Foot Locker. I'm giving all the best that I can give you because you're my son, you're the love of my life, and you're everything. But the son was not satisfied. Thinking the family is just a bit boring. Or the church is a bit boring. But let me tell you something, you don't know what is in there until you go and experience it. I've seen so many young people came to me and said, after messing up with some relationship, becoming pregnant while they're teenage, and they said, Pastor, I wish I didn't go there. I said, it's too late, but we still love you. We don't know what is in there until we go and experience it. You know, sin takes you where you don't want to go. And sin can keep you longer than you want to stay. And sin will cost you to pay more than you want to. In other words, sin can literally destroy you. And how sin begins is the desires that we have in this world. But 1 John, let's turn our Bible to 1 John. 1 John chapter 2 verse 15. Do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. What we have right now is, as I said yesterday, we see so much of music and Netflix, or even sometimes in the family group chat, instead of encouragement, is all gossiping and pride and selfishness is going on. Am I talking true? Yeah, at least one brother is smiling and he said, yes. You know, it is good for a preacher when we get the reaction from the audience. It is true that what we have, it comes to a place, as the Bible says, the hearts of men is getting cold, and there is no pure love. We expect the young people to stay in the church. They are in the church, but sadly their mind is not inside the church. It is good to bring young people to the church, but let's not forget we should bring them to Christ first before bringing them to the church. Now I can say, my brother, you can come to my church, and you imagine he's my friend, and I'm saying, my brother, you have to come to church, and he's coming to church with me. But all of a sudden I got a problem with somebody in the church, and I've stopped going to church. When I stopped going to church, what he has for them in the church to go? Because all his life he came to church just for me, for my friend. But if I bring him to Christ, no matter whatever happens, he stays in the church because Christ stays in the church. But this father gave everything, but his son still wants to go and enjoy what he wants to enjoy. Now imagine this. In the Old Testament, and it's a cultural and traditional thing in Jews, and also even in India. We're talking about Indian context, let's talk about it. The portion, or else the wealth that the father made for the children will be passed down to the children after death. But while he's still living, the son was so hard-headed, asking his father, give it to me. In fact, I don't care whether you die or not, just give me the blessing. Give me what I have. Give me what the portion of myself. And his father still gave. And not many days, the Bible says, after the younger son gathered all together, journeyed too far to a country, there wasted his possessions with prodigal living, which means wasteful living. You know, churches always look good in the beginning when you're enjoying the sin, until you see the consequences. I had an opportunity to go to Malaysia to do evangelism, and God was good. We preached for 10 days and 15 young people got baptized. And at the end there was a gentleman who said, Pastor, you really have to come to our house and pray for my sister. I said, yeah, sure we can. So I went to the house, good house where we were sitting, and we were having some food, and we had a good chat. All of a sudden I asked, where is the lady that I have to pray for? Say, Pastor, she is in the bedroom, you have to go inside and pray. I said, I'm not going inside the bedroom by myself. And you have to say, a guy came from South England Conference and messed up our house. I'm not going by myself, I need somebody with me. So I, myself, and two of the ladies and another gentleman, we got inside. When I entered into that room, lying on bed was a 30-year-old lady, young lady, affected by AIDS and cancer, counting her days to sleep in Jesus. And they're asking me to pray for her. What will I pray? What I'm going to say? I was thinking to myself, Jeff, truly, what are you going to tell them about? But I said, Lord, just help me somehow. So I read Psalms 121 and Psalms 91. I said, sister, if it's God's will, I'll come and see you here. If not, I'll see you in glory. Saying that, said a prayer came out. I looked at the elder sister. I said, sis, I'm so sorry for what happened to her. She said, Pastor, you don't need to say sorry. I said, why? She said her testimony. When she was young, she got in a relationship with a guy who's not in the church, but outside of the church. They were living together, but not married. Eventually, the guy passed a disease on her, and he left. 1 year later, at the last stage of her life, when the disease was affected too much, she came to know she got it. In a week time, she also got to know that she had cancer. When she knew everything, she didn't know what to do. So she came to church. She sat in the last bench listening to the sermon. She said, I want to be baptized. And she went to the pastor and said, Pastor, I really want to give my life to Jesus. Now imagine who's going to give baptism to such a young lady who was affected by all these things and brought bad reputation to the family. But the pastor said, yeah, we will baptize you. She said, Pastor, I not only want to be baptized, but I also want to join in a ministry where I can help some young people. She baptized, joined the church, joined in the ministry, and she brought 10 young people into the church. And she said, Pastor, since everything happened, you don't need to say sorry. But you see, praise God for the testimony. It happened, good thing at the end. But in a while, her life wasn't pleasant. We think it is so beautiful when we have a relationship out of the church. We think that getting this and getting out of that, it is good. Or have a competition like, she got this, so I must have this. You know, one of the greatest problems in 2016 is social cyberbullying, where young people go to their Instagram or Snapchat and see themselves compared with other young people and say, I don't look this much, so what happens is I have to buy the things just to set up a standard in the community or in the social social media to prove myself that I'm something. Can I tell you, young people, you are so beautiful and God made you in His own image. You never need to feel like you're nothing. You are something. Always tell yourself. But it came to a place that even parents are started to work so hard and forgetting about their children. I read in the book, it said, children these days are not looking for presents, but the parents' presence. You get it, church? You go and work night shift and day shift and everything. Poor children, you don't know what they're going through. We right now having the biggest abuses in the school like never before. Young people are being abused like never before. Emotionally, not physically, but emotionally a lot. And our parents are giving a good gift, not bad. We need it. We need it, right, church? I mean, young people, we love gifts. Don't we? Where's the guy who called my name Jeff? Yeah, we love gifts. We love gifts, don't we? We love gifts. But above all, we need some support. Listen, when the children is getting into the trouble, if they don't come and seek you first, we have a problem in parenting. Am I talking to you?
Oh, yes.
When the parents, you good doing best as you can. But when the children caught up in a trouble, probably in relationship or probably in the school or anywhere, if they don't come to you in the first place, step back and think, am I raising my children the way God wants me to raise? Because we dedicate them for Christ. We dedicate them for the church commitment works. But at the end, what are we doing? They don't care about preaching about Isaac, Jacob, Abraham anymore. They're looking for real testimony in 2019 and what the church has for them. But seeing this young guy found the house was boring, the place where he was boring, so he went out and he enjoyed his life. But then the famine came. And when I was reading a different translation, it said, everything that he had was lost, including his friends. My dear young people and adults, I would like to tell you that we know that everyone who smiles is not our friends. Everyone that is being good to you on your good times is not actually your friends. But when things go wrong, when things get messed up, who's standing by you? That is your real friend. When you make a mistake, and if your friend tells you, hey, that's good, in young people's language, that's sick, that's beautiful, man. That's amazing, do it. if it goes like that, just remember, is he causing you to sin, or is she causing you to sin, or is he developing you saying it is wrong, you should not do that? You should not speak like that. You cannot treat your parents like that. If they say it's good that you're speaking against your parents, something is problem with your friendship. But when Furman came, he lost everything. But here's the good news. He didn't found himself. The Bible says he came to himself. But he never came to himself when the money was lost, when the people was lost. But when he had nothing, including the last job that he had, feeding pigs. When he lost everything, then he realized the blessing that he had in the Father's house. Sadly, church, the point that I want to make to you is, don't go to that extreme to remember what God has blessed you with. Don't go to the level where everything is lost, then you sit down and think, what God has done in my life, I wish He'd do it again. He will do it again, but don't go to that extreme. It is not an easy road. As I said, there was another prison where we went to preach. A 19-year-old guy, and the 22-year-old guy came for a prayer. I sat with him. His name is Ranchit. He's a half Jamaican and a half Indian. Mother was Gujarati and dad was a Jamaican. He said, Pastor, pray for me. I said, what do you want? He said, when I was 20-year-old, my wife is about to give a baby and I was in hospital, but I got a phone call from my friend in a gang. They were living in a gang, so they had a gang problem and he went out. In the anger, he killed a person. When he got into the prison, the baby is born. And now he has to stay another 7 years. He said, Pastor, I wish I can be with my wife now. I wish I can raise my child. I wish I can take him to the school for the first time. Or I can buy him some clothes or stuff. But Pastor, it's too late. That when I go back, he's already, he's a child. He's grown up. He's mature. He knows stuff. But Pastor, I don't know. Don't go to that extreme. When you know that you need God, just call out to His name and He will help you. But when he came to himself, that his father's blessing that he had. The verse 17 says, but when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? And I will rise and go to my father. I will say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. You know, I realize myself in Christianity is we need to, before we feed others spiritually, we need to feed ourselves. We are so good at preaching and teaching and singing and praying for others, but when was the last time we stopped by ourselves and prayed for ourselves? When was the last time we took the Bible and read for ourselves? When was the last time we took spiritual prophecy and read for ourselves? Self-discovery is the first step towards spiritual recovery. Let me put it that way. Self-discovery is your first step towards spiritual recovery. The problem right now we have in the church is not many agendas, is not do's and don'ts. The problem is we are not revived yet. We don't have fire. We don't have, we are so good at talking about the celebrities in this world than Jesus. We are good at talking about averages. We are good at talking about the football players. But how much are we interested in talking about Jesus to one another? Not many. And if you don't do it, how are we expecting the church to grow? I'm sorry, church, but I have to tell you that once he came to know himself that he have to go to his Father and say what he has to say, remember, knowing is not enough, but action requires too. It's like husband and wife. A husband says to the wife, honey, I love you. Honey, I love you. But he doesn't live according to love you. What does that mean? What does it say? It's not a good relationship. It's causing chaos in the family. I'm not talking about man-sister families. You guys are beautiful. Alright? But I'm talking about the real world out there. Saying one thing, yes, I know about Jesus. Yes, I know the doctrines. Yes, I know the Daniel revelation. But what are you doing with the knowledge that you know? Prodigal son knew that he's supposed to go, and what he did,
He caught up, went to the Father. When was the last time you came to Jesus? When was the last time you came to Jesus and said, Lord, yes, I messed up, I did this, but would you please help me to get it fixed? When the prodigal son said, I will rise, even though I hated by men. You know, imagine this. He disrespected his father, took all the money, and he gone on to the big city. Who will think going back to the house and saying, Lord, Father gave me a cleaning a table job, or a cooking job, or a shoe shining job, or whatever job. A father just gave me, I can clean your car. Imagine, he is the same guy who ruined the whole family. Now he's gone back and he's coming back again.
But I praise God. Christ says the love of Jesus is so big
that even before he stepped into the gate, the Father ran to him and hugged him. Let me tell you, church, you are not too sinful to get back. You know, it's never too late to get back to Christ. Never too late. I didn't know whether I told you the testimony or not. I met a drug dealer in South End, preaching, gave an appeal, he took the appeal, and he came and told me this testimony. At Newbold College. He was at Newbold College. He said, Pastor, thank you for it. I'm here at Newbold College. I said, what are you doing here? I'm here to study theology. I said, man, you said you were a drug dealer. Yeah, but I'm here to study theology. He said, go ahead, tell me your story. So this is what his story. He was a drug dealer, and when the police caught him and went to prison, came out, his own mother doesn't want him anymore. He said, we raised you well in a Christian house, but look what you have done. Get out of my house. So he was homeless in South End community. Being a homeless, at one point he realized that he got nothing, then committed suicide. Trying to quit his life, and he saw a big board saying South End Sunday Adventist Church Youth Revival Day. He came in and he sat, he heard the sermon, and he got up and he said, Lord, give my life, I'll give my life to you. And he took the commitment. He said, no, I'm in theology. I said, man, God bless you. But I told my friend, you know, it was 4 years ago. So I got to my friend, I said, man, wait a minute. It's not going to take too long. He's going to backslide soon. Because I know how drugs work, and I know he's going to quit. In 2 weeks' time, I saw him in the church with a full suit on, getting ready to preach. I said, wait a minute, what's going on in here? I thought he would backslide. But he's staying strong. Church, amen? Amen? I'm not talking about someone who's lied. I'm talking about someone who was messed up in the community, but now he's a preacher. And I said, wait a minute, is he still strong? And I was like, this big brother. You know, the big brother was so angry that his younger brother came back. That's a fact. We are so good at praise the Lord, someone is baptized. But when someone is baptized, messed up, and coming back again, what do we have to say? Look at her, she's back. Or look at him, he's back again. He's here to ruin. No, I was like the big brother. I said, he's a preacher? No way. But he called me. One evening, he said, Jefferson, please pick me up from so-and-so place. I need your prayers. I said, what happened? He said, I got back into the drugs. I'm so sorry, I got back into the drugs, Jefferson. Please don't hate me. I want someone to love me at this point and encourage me and tell me, does God still love me? Does God still care about me? Do God really can help me out from this mess? I shed a tear, and my best friend shed a tear. We went and we picked him up, brought him back to the new boat, made him clear, and once he was cleared out of the drugs, we started praying whole night. While I'm talking to you, he's an evangelist in Thailand, married a Paul Porter, running a school for the children who doesn't even have money to pay. We have no idea what God's love can do in people's life. We are so enriched and thinking about our own self, thinking about our own young people, but when we bring them to the love of Jesus, when we love them in their mess, God does some amazing job. Myself, I can say my own testimony that I never knew that I would live up to 20-year-old. Because I was dealing with wrong friends at the wrong time, doing wrong things. And my own parents, my dad is a pastor. Imagine my dad is a pastor. I was doing certain things. But praise God, one day when I came home, both of my parents were praying for me at 2 a.m. I'm coming at home at 2 a.m. and my parents were praying for me. Never shouted at me. But today, I praise God that I changed my life. I'm not in a stage where I want to be, but praise God, I'm not the person that I used to be. And what do we have for our young people? Or what do we have for our parents? Let me tell you, young people, when he confessed, he said, Father, I messed up with you, and I messed up with the Father in heaven. Which means like, I disobeyed the Father in heaven, and I disobeyed you. I embarrassed you. He was real son. He messed up and he said to his father, I'm sorry. I have to tell you this, young people, if you really want to love your parents, if you really want to respect your parents, if you really want to do something and encourage words to them, do it while they're breathing. Am I right, church? Because they're not going to hear anything on the funeral service. I'm saying out of my own experience, my own cousin, mother passed away, which is my aunt. And when she passed away, my cousin called me and said, man, I love my mother so much. I cannot take it that she's lost. I said, bro, I wish you would have told her while she was alive. She can't hear anything right now. This son reminds us to tell us that he not only got back to his father, but he told his father, Father, I'm sorry, I've done so and so things. When was the last time we respected our parents? But in the end, when the big brother came to the father and was angry and he was shouting, why he's coming back again? Why he's in our house? Or why he's in our church? What role he got? But the father said, listen, my son was dead, but now he's alive again. I'm finishing up now, church. Christ is coming very soon. Whether we like it or not, whether we preach it or not, he's coming very soon. And we know it. All the prophecies. But is our heart is ready today? Suppose if we sleep in Jesus tonight, are we sure that we're going to head in the glory? Young people, are we ready to say, yes, I can surely say that I can be saved? You know, God is so good in the prodigal sons that even before the son was opened his mouth, the father came to him and rushed and hugged him and gave him the best and love. That's what God does for us. Whenever we confess our sin, the Bible says in 1 John chapter 1 chapter 1 verse 9, if we confess our sins, he's faithful and just to forgive our sins. All our sins. And book of Ezekiel says he not only forgives, but he forgets and he starts a new page in our life. Let me tell you, this is a time, a commitment time, where you say, Lord, I give my life to you. I've done so much things in my life. Now I'm stepping up into a new age where I'm going to see some new challenges. But I cannot do this without you. Some of you sitting here and you're doubting about your own family and your own children, or children or your parents. But today, I urge you and I say to you and I beg you, give your life to Jesus and see what he has for you. He's the God who knows how to give the very best. My dad told me, Jefferson, I said, you, young guy, you know what is good. As a parent, we know what is better, but God knows what is best. He knows what is best for you. We don't know it. We may think it is good. Now, the book of Proverbs says there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is death. It is death. But while we're going to sing a song, if there is anyone in here said, I really want to give my life to Jesus today. It's been a long time I've been coming to church, but I never committed my life to Jesus. Probably you are even the adults or old people. You said that, yeah, I've been in the church for a long time, but my heart is not clean. But I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to give a commitment and I say, Lord, take my life. It is all yours now. Because when I was out with myself, I messed it up. But today I'm giving it to you, Lord. Use me. Take care of me. And give me what I need by thy grace and by thy will. And surely he will. If he can take a drug addict to be a preacher, he can surely do to you. If he can change me, he can change you. If he can use some fishermen to be the greatest preachers and disciples in this world, in Christian history, he can surely use you too. But all it takes is a faith and a commitment. And he said, Lord, I commit my life purely to you. And as we sing, draw me nearer, draw me nearer. Or whatever song that my brother is playing, while he's playing, if there is anyone in here, just raise your hand and I'm going to pray for you. If there is anyone, let's all stand up and sing. We sing as we sing.